there's something to be said. Have you heard, if you've listened to anybody talk in what's considered the red pill space, you've heard them talk about how it's more important that the girl adores the guy more than the reverse. And the reason for that is because there has to be, they're basically men are working, like women are working from a deficit.
We don't know what red pill is. I'm
Okay.
leaning towards like conservative Republican. But
no, it's mostly like the truth about the dynamics between men and women. Fresh and fit. You know, there's Tate, there's Rollo Tomasi, there's Rich Cooper, there's all these different guys who are sort of like linked to it. But it's very, very important that the man is the one holding the frame that the woman wants to step into. Women, why you say
women? Do you agree
women,
with it?
Yes,
okay.
Because again, there's a deficit that men are working from. Men will love girls very, very idealistically because they're very few and far between for men. Women have so many options that they're not always champing at the bit to just step in and commit to one of them. So women need to adore the man because they're more likely to remain loyal and stick around. That's a huge piece of it. But on top of that, women look for authority, they look for leadership, and a man who is set in his ways, set in his principles, knows what he wants out of life, she will actually be attracted and likely to step into that frame to experience that frame with him. They don't like
very logical.
They don't like when it's the other way around. When a girl is the one making all the decisions, doing all the moving around, like she's the one who like wants to work, wants to move, do this, and the guy is just following like a puppy dog. What do you want? What do you want?
Yeah. It's very not masculine.
You want to talk about dry, right? Like that is literally what happens.
It's appalling and it's very mentally tolling.
Right. So
I
don't think that's mentally tolling. I think that's very attractive. Like a man is like assertive in his ways.
No, you're saying it's draining for the girl.
Yes.
Why?
It is very draining for the girl to be the one who is way more above the man, espally.
Yeah.
I will never.
Yes.
So
100%. Yeah. I thought you were.
I would never ever do that.
A lot of my clients, one of the biggest things that they struggle with is how to actually act on a first date. They go into dates so nervous. And they have all these things in the back of their head, like, oh, I don't want to talk too much. I want to like let her speak. I want to like ask her a lot of questions. I don't want to like make her feel too uncomfortable. Like this is what's going through most guys' heads. And I have to tell them, you're the one who needs to make the conversation interesting. They want you to drive the conversation. Yeah. They want you to be joking. They want you to take risks. They want you to maybe say something offensive that they're either going to like jump back or
I don't know about
I'm serious.
No, it's true.
I'm dead serious.
Say something offensive.
I say offensive things to my man all the time, and that's why we work out so well.
Wait, this is the opposite of what? Wait.
No. What I'm saying is you have to say things that could potentially be taken the wrong way, so that you can then be like, I'm just kidding, or like, no, I'm just
or discuss.
Like, it's a joke.
I agree.
And then you have to be the one who's willing to break the touch barrier. Are you going to grab her hand? Are you going to put your arm around it? Are you going to just do something like that?
Because we're sure as hell not doing that.
Are you going to do something just like, I'm going to use the bathroom, I'll be right back. Something as simple as that. Men are the ones who always have to take the lead early in a relationship. We are the ones auditioning first, and then the moment that you actually like us,
we're seeking that. We're seeking that.
Yeah, and guess what? The moment that I pass that test, guess what you start doing? Hey, can I come over and cook us dinner? Hey, do you mind if I'm just going to clean up the dishes real quick? Hey, I'm just going to tidy this up for you. You start making the bed when I get out of bed to do the shower. You just fall right into place. And I don't mean to be like, I put you in your place. I mean, women will just naturally start to submit.
How it should
be. Do you think that's bad?
No, I think it's amazing. I think that's exactly how relationships are designed to be. So I help men pass those tests first date.
And how did
it
you
comes
learn all
even
this?
to like biological, because it's this profession.
What'd you say?
Yes, but like, you went to school for this? Like you got a degree?
You went to Santa Monica Community College.
I genuinely think you are a very intelligent man. So that's why you're making very good points. I just wanted to know where you got all this information.
No, this is something, I mean, listen, like I've been in, I was in one relationship for 4 years in my early 20s. Then I dated one other girl for about a year. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I've been single. I've mentioned this to her before. Like, she asked me, how do you know so much? I'm like, I've been on 1 million first dates, very few second dates. I have, like the way that I operate in the dating space is I'm so good at passing those early tests and establishing what you guys would consider a good vibe with a girl, right?
I understand.
That they basically just get to the point where it's like, oh, okay, like now I want to spend more time with him. I want to spend. So I'm the one who has seen girls go through the process of I'm not so sure to I'm obsessed. Like it's happened time and time again where girls are just they're champing at the bit to see me. They're champing at the bit to text me.
Is that how you got Billy?
Like,
she's a good one.
But no, she's a good one. And
thank you, FTG.
And once you've been, I'm not saying been around the block in terms of sleeping with girls. I'm saying once you've been around the block in terms of watching the change in emotion and the change of behavior in women, you just start to take note of it. And I've always been a very pensive guy.
Yeah,
so all of a sudden, guys are coming to me, my friends, guys in my network, asking me really silly questions about dating, and I'm like, how the fuck do you not know this? Then that's when I started to realize, oh, I just know more about this than they do. I'm able to reverse engineer it and make it repeatable. I have a very repeatable process to being successful early in the dating stage with women. And at that point, one of my buddies just said, dude, you got to stop giving the advice away for free. So I was sort of an on-the-side dating coach for a number of years. Now for probably about 12 to 18 months, I've been doing it full time.
Yeah, you're one of.
What about the girl boss women though? Like I'm not necessarily I'm not one of them, but that are very like naturally dominant, like run a business, have a net worth, whatever it might be that makes them more established or on top. Would you say that you still think that? Like, I'm genuinely curious.
Quick response, and then I do have to move on. Go ahead.
Yeah, the problem is your dating pool is very small because you're only going to date guys who can out masculine you.
True.
With those like top 1%ers.
Not even the top 1%ers. I just mean the guys who have a greater degree of masculine dominant energy than you do.
So not financially, not anything else.
Finances could be a part of it, but I think money is a byproduct of a lot of masculine traits.
Yes.
I would say I'm a little bit more dominant, and I want to be the breadwinner. Like I would.
Let's go.
He can like try to make more money with me, but that's my goal. Like I want to be that girl, but I still want a man who can lead. That doesn't mean he needs to be like the opposite. I want us to be like. I want us to both exist in that space.
So you're not a feminist. So you're not a feminist, and I like that.
Don't you think that if you're the breadwinner, it's going to be harder for you to find a guy to fall into the leadership position?
I don't know. I don't know exactly how our dynamic worked out, but it just worked out where he lets me shine, but he's like okay with me taking dominance where I want to take dominance, but he's also like
where do
masculine.
Where do you want to take dominance? What do you mean?
Not in the bedroom.
Can I offer
no, not in the bedroom.
Can I offer a hypothetical?
Not in the bedroom?
I just mean like I feel like I am
guy in the bedroom?
No. That's what we're saying we don't want.
It's funny, they never want it in the bedroom, but they don't want to submit in real life.
No.
I do not
I'd be
submissive.
What's your like?
Hold on, let's finish with this thread. Go ahead.
I think the difference is like I went to school for 4 years and I want my master's degree and stuff, and he kind of knows what he wants to do, and but he can do that anywhere. So he's like, hey, if you want to go to this school, your dream school, I will go with you because I can do what I do wherever. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a pullback. So it's not like he can chase me, but just in that aspect, like he's okay with following me.
That's not a dominance thing. I mean, that's a very logical decision on his part.
Okay, I consider that as like I'm making a big decision for us.
You want to be the breadwinner. So what kind of line of work do you want to go into?
I don't know yet. I might like freelance because right now I'd like
freelance what?
Social media management. I'm thinking of it, but I also work that's what I do on the side right now, and then I'm going to marketing. But I want a business degree at some point. And
wait, so you want to? Okay, you have your bachelor's.
Yes.
Are you currently in school for your master's?
No, but I want to.
And your master's would be a business degree, or that would be a separate degree than from your master's?
I would go to business school, yes, and probably get
get a master's in
probably in something like marketing management or something.
Okay.
Can I offer you a hypothetical?
Sure.
You're working full time. You're also in a master's program.
Not yet. That's
sorry. Let's say you're working and you're in a master's program, hypothetically speaking, and your boyfriend is doing exactly the same thing that he's currently doing. He's making money the same way. He's on the same schedule. He's got the same everything. All of a sudden, you are working, similar hours. Then you also have your schoolwork. There are going to be some times where you have to work a little bit overtime. There's going to be times where late at night you're having to do homework, do a lot of reading, and you're looking, and all of a sudden he's the one who needs to keep the place tidy. He's the one who needs to do the cooking. He's the one who needs to do all the cleaning. He's the one who is he's the one who's chauffeuring you around. He's the one taking time out of his busy schedule to support you. How are you going to view him?
I wouldn't view him negatively, but I would also never ask all of that stuff for him because I make sure I have enough time to do a lot of stuff.
But what happens? But what happens when all of a sudden the apartment is a little bit untidy? What if you guys aren't having dinner at a nice time? Are you going to look at him and be like, "Hey, I could use your help cooking.
Yeah,
I
I
could
could
use
wear
your
it
help
down on you.
cleaning.
I've never had to really ask, but he's never been in the position where he has to like catch up. Like I was very busy during school. Like I was doing a thesis program as an undergrad. Like it was like that where I'm like, I don't even have time to eat. And I'd never had to be like, hey, could you please cook dinner for once? It was just, he was like, here, like here's food. I made dinner already.
Did you guys live together?
We do now,
Now,
as of like
okay.
a couple months. But this
Okay.
was just, we lived across the
It's all
street.
about compromising
I don't want to make
and
it.
helping each other out.
Well, happiness without
Well, I mean, like if
compromise.
Billy's working hard
There's
and you know she
nothing
had a hard
that-
day
Hold on,
and
one
you're
at a
she
time,
comes
guys,
home,
one at a time,
you're
one at
gonna
a
cook her
time.
dinner, right? And you're
Here.
gonna be like, out of an act of love.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you said it was unattractive, like helping out. Like, is that what you meant? I have a question for you.
Well, let's rephrase. I don't know. What did I say unattractive to? I'm not sure.
He was talking and he was like, oh, like if a guy.
Oh yeah, if it's expected that a male is going to like cook, clean, do all those things, yeah, that's very unattractive to me. I'd be like, I got that.
Even though you were really busy and it was like taking a toll on you mentally, and
Yeah,
you were.
yeah,
you
I
would
can juggle
still-
all of those balls at once. Yeah, I would say it's very unattractive. Like, go do your thing.
My point is
Yeah,
that
and I would also never ask him to do all that because he also has his goals, and I don't think it would get to a place where I'm like, hey, you're doing all the housework, and I'm
Right,
doing
yeah.
like
Well,
he is still doing his own thing.
me, if he were
but he
willing-
doesn't mind picking up where it's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
necessary.
That's
Please,
how
one
marriages
mic at a
fail.
time. Go ahead.
If they're willing to actually put in the work, I think that's great. The guy I'm with now is like, I don't have to ask him to get me food. He literally just is like, okay, I'm going to get you food. He knows I don't want to order because I have anxiety, so he orders for me, and I'm not a picky eater. So, like, it's all a part is, do you want to accept the help or not?
What's funny about that?
Yeah, do you want to accept the help or not?
Wait,
That's
the
real
guy- the
question.
guy
do you want to
gets-
accept the guy's help or not?
Gets you food?
Yes.
Are you the? Do you wear?
I have the one of the worst mental healths, but I'm not going to let that dominate my entire life. But he can see that I juggle so much with being so young, being a personal assistant, dropping my entire family behind, and he's just like, oh, you look very like stressed, let me do this for you.
So does
Thank
being
you.
her personal assistant stress you out? Is that the like sole purpose of the stress and anxiety,
No.
or is
Okay.
it?
No.
I think she
No.
just
I
said
think-
right
Okay.
now she-
Okay.
Let's stick to this. Do you want kids?
I've thought about that, maybe like one or two, but not
May-
until I'm like well established and I'm at a good point in my career. Like not anytime soon, for sure.
Well, so in your late 20s.
I'm thinking late 20s, 30 maybe at the
okay.
layest.
And you
never
said
know.
maybe one or two.
Yeah, I've always wanted one, but he was an only child, so I think we're going to it when we do.
Well, yeah,
He's
okay,
against
you-
an only child.
Talk about it?
Okay.
Do you guys talk about it together?
I mean, we do just because I know I'm going to marry him. Like, I just do. So, like,
Are you guys
it's-
engaged or?
We're not engaged. No,
Okay,
not
but-
yet. But
okay,
you have to
you
talk
guys
about those things, make sure
Really
you're
like
on the
each
same
other.
page. Yeah.
So okay, you do want kids. When you're pregnant, do you want to be still in the breadwinner role even throughout your pregnancy, or
I've
would
thought
you like
about-
to take some time off?
I've thought about that a little bit, and like, I don't know exactly how I'll be feeling at the time, but I hope we both have enough saved, or I can stay at home. He can keep working. Like,
Okay.
I would like to stay home. I
Okay,
don't
so
think
you
I
wanna
would
be
keep
the
working through my
breadwinner.
pregnancy and when I have my first kid. I'd get back into my work though, but I do want that like family time is how I imagine it.
Okay.
I think we'll allow it as long as you don't complain about the wage gap when you come back.
All right.
Okay. All right.